Terrifics number 5. Jeff Lemire writing and Doc Shaner on the art. So Terrifics, we had kind of a one-shot story last time. This one is kind of returning because the villain that pops up in this was the one that was teased back in issue 2 or 3, right?
When we broke away to the city in the World Cup. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what this was. I actually kind of like how the first several pages, they're all 4 panels. And you've got one's Terrific, one's, Linya, one's Plastic Man, and one's Rex. And all their stories are playing out over the pages, one panel each per page. I like that. It's this sort of thing where, because obviously the thing in the plot right now is that they can't be more than a mile apart, or they get snapped back into place.
Yeah.
And potentially die.
It's funny because I really like that, and I think when we shift away from that after those first 2 pages, we shift to 3. But I know it's because some of the characters meet up. But when we shift to 3, and okay, they're still getting the same amount of panel space because they get half. But I think the issue starts to lose its flow a little bit. I think the 4-panel flow worked, and then the 3-panel, it's just not quite as tight.
I don't know. I never had a problem with that because, like you say, it worked for me because it was like this was when 2 characters meet in the page. So for me, it never really to me it felt natural because it was even the same layout where it was Terrific was the top left, Phantom Girl was the top right, and she phases through the ceiling into his room. So now she's still on that same side.
I think what the problem with the flow is up to that point, it's kind of even, with what's going on. Everyone's getting their fair share. Whereas at that point, they're having the top, they're having the top 2 panels, so they should be, half of that page. Yet they're significantly less than the bottom half in terms of dialogue and what's going on in the page. They're actually quite a lot less. So I feel like that's what takes the flow away for me. It doesn't feel even anymore.
Yeah, I never had that issue. I don't know if I necessarily needed it to feel even in terms of the dialogue. I guess.
No, it's just the pace at which you read it. I feel like those first 2 pages. I feel like okay, no, I'm spending an even amount of time on everything. And
but I like that it switches back to the 4 when they split up again. It's a really nice little touch because basically what's going on here is Plastic Man's trying to talk to his ex. He's like, I've been gone for 5 years. My kid's 17 now. Shit. And he's trying to explain, he was an egg. And not going very well, as one would imagine. Rex is talking to Thingy's daughter, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to leave after this. You can't be under his thumb anymore." She gets kind of pissed at him. He ends up smashing what's his face, big dude.
Well,
Narc.
Yes.
Is it Narc?
That sounds familiar, but I'm not sure.
I forgot his name. But yeah, he starts beating him up because he cracks a line at him. And then the alert goes off. So no, I like that it was taking time to deal with what everyone's going through. Phantom Girl's like, "Hey, why couldn't I stay on Bigazadil?" And he's like, "Oh, because we can't separate." And besides, I think Rex would whine about being away from his girlfriend more than you, if than you are about being away from your planet. And he's like, "Well, that's true."
Yeah.
So no, I think the banter between them has all been so good. I actually think this is the first time they've given them an extended portion of like, no, you're all on your own doing your own thing for a bit. Let's see how you all are, like, now that the team's formed and now you're stuck in this situation. I also love the page when the alert's going off and it's like between them it's like, this better be good, but it's like all of them like throughout all their bits saying it. I really like that. So then of course they get to the city and this character like Rex, someone who has the same similar powers, is attacking the city. There's some fun stuff here. Rex becomes a big wall to try and protect the civilians and
I think this is where my biggest problem with the issue is. Plastic Man just doesn't do enough in terms of when I've got Shayna doing my art here, I want him having fun with Plastic Man, but he mostly just stretches all issue. He does the one the hot air balloon. That's about it. Everything else he's just stretched.
That's a weird complaint to me. I don't know.
I think it's disappointing. I feel like the whole point of having Plastic Man is to play around with the different things that he does.
I don't know. That feels like a weird complaint to me.
No, it's the same as when when you don't like when Green Lanterns when they always use the same things over and over. It's like you want to see some variety.
Did I say that?
I thought you'd said that before. Maybe I'm.
If anything, it's the opposite. I hate when they get overcomplicated with it, and I like that they use simple things.
Fair enough. I thought I maybe mismixing it with someone, but. Because I feel like have some fun with him instead of just stretch. I feel like
Um, I don't know. It never stuck out to me. Like I feel like he's been doing so much of it throughout the book. I don't think necessarily in one issue it's a big deal if there's only one or two actual like shapes that he does.
I think that's why it sticks out, is that it's been so consistent with all this constantly changing, whereas here it's once.
Well, it sticks out to you. I never noticed until you said that there. It never even occurred to me.
It stuck out to me.
I was having fun with the action. I think it's really well drawn. I thought like Rex's face on the wall was pretty fun. And I think that's maybe why it doesn't stick out to me, is because they're doing more wacky things with Rex in this issue. This is way wackier than he typically gets with these formations. And we get Algon, the ancient elemental man, who kidnaps Rex, and the rest of the team are like, shit, if he takes him away, we have to go with him because we can't separate. And they end up getting trapped, fighting like various almost like.
Yeah, the portal seems to have taken them to different places, right?
Yeah, it's like, and I think they're all like, it's all stuff that's specifically like targeted at them.
Yeah, it's all different elements.
Because Plastic Man goes to like a rocky looking place. Phantom Girl goes to like something that's all kind of like smoke. So does Mr. Terrific, admittedly, but his is all green.
Type of smoke. Yeah, his is almost like in space looking sort of thing.
His looks toxic, whereas hers looks more like.
Well, there's like an army coming out of hers, right? When you go to the next page, the final page.
Yes.
There's like an army with swords coming out of it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
They're gas ghosts.
We have a big thing. The Rocky place has essentially the Thing from Fantastic Four smashing Plastic Man in the head. I actually love that his head just is a big puddle and it just says splurt.
Yeah, it's a good sound effect.
It's a great sound effect. So Elemental Man here. What's his name? Algon. He wants Rex to replace him so he can get out. This was all a trap to lure him in so he can grab him and replace him. And there's also an elemental dog running around as well, by the way.
Yeah, I hope elemental dog sticks around, because that's a nice little addition.
That's a fun idea.
Team pet.
So that's how I've been the issue. No, I had a blast. I think for me this book's just going up. I wasn't expecting such criticisms coming into this discussion.
I still like it. I think it's pretty good. I just had a few little things here or there.
Yeah, I don't really have any real complaints. But I guess the only thing is, because it is such a book of big panels and full page spreads, and it's a lot of them are just 2 panels per page or 3 or 4 panels. It is a very quick read. Like I flew through this.
It is, and that's the end of Shayna on the book.
But the upside to it is when you really like the art, you really appreciate all the big space for all these pieces to really shine and do that. And I think the characters are getting better defined as we go. I think he's really getting a solid footing. The last issue might still be my favourite of the book so far, but this is probably, close. This is probably like second place.
Fair enough.
Not that I'm going to keep ranking the book every issue, because that'll get really
too many.
difficult eventually. But no, for me to just go straight to straight. This is like the really solid, dependable thing. Like after the 2 or 3 like big hitters of the week, this is what I read, because this is the solid, dependable book that's just good fun.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's terrific. So I guess we'll rate the book out of 10. What are you giving it?
I'll give it 7.
7. No, I'm going 8.5 on that. I really like that.